Hey George, I just wanted to show you a little something. I was trying to get the PLC connectivity working to visual components. Or unfortunately, the visual components uses a new OPC standard, and the emulator for Logix 5000 Studio uses an old OPC DA standard, and they cannot communicate with each other. So it was hard to get them talking, but through a third-party software I was able to get the two standards to communicate. I'm still gonna meet with Tarsi on Tuesday to see maybe they have a more elegant solution or a better solution, but I don't think they were aware that the emulator used such an old standard and they did not support it, so I don't think she knew how to solve that issue, but I'll talk to her. Hopefully they have their own proprietary way of solving the issue. But the good news is that with the third-party software I found, I was able to get the two standards to work perfectly. I have a PLC program here running in the background. I also have the factory talk HMI application running as well and connected to the PLC. And as you're gonna see, the functionality is good. I can close the gun, and the communication is two-way. The simulation can detect the position of the gun in the virtual world, and it'll send me a signal back to the PLC telling me the gun is closed, sorry. So when the gun is closed, the button turns green, and when the gun is open, the button turns blue. Same thing with the slide, as you're gonna see. When I click this slide and it goes all the way forward, the button turns green because it's reading the values from the simulation. So as you can see, it works perfectly. This is the future of automation in AMS. We're basically going to be able to validate the PLC program offline and see all the motions and get all the sequence worked out even before loading it into the machine. I also created a small sequence. I just hit cycle start and you can see it going up, down, weld, slide came forward, welding again. You can see all the signals working. I'm gonna run it a couple more times so you can see. The cool thing is that the only tags that we have to connect between the emulator and the simulation is just the output tags, like on an actuator on the fifth rung, or after the preconditions and the safety and all that, after the command rung. When we actually send the output, we just need to map that to the signal in the simulation that will move the virtual components, like just as if we were mapping it to a valve bank, and it'll work just fine. So the good thing about that is that you have hundreds of tags in a PLC program, but to get it to work with the simulation, you only have to map maybe like a dozen or 20, or just the outputs. So it's relatively simple. You can get it up and running pretty fast. As long as your simulation is working and you just map the outputs, you're good. And you can start validating the program virtually. So this is the future.